Well-timed shot, and that's the hard part. You really only have one shot with the sniper in these kind of lobbies. If players don't know you're there and you miss the first shot, they're going to be ready for it. They're going to start building and block it off, or I hope anyway. It'd be a massive misplay at the highest level in FNCS to not, like, you know, let your opponent make the same mistake twice, but looks like they're going to rotate through. But I see another team just in front of them around this corner, so we'll have to see what their plan is, because they're not moving, or they are moving a little bit, but do they know there's a team behind them? This could be the second chance for Kanata to set up a snipe, and here it is in the water. Misses the snipe, unfortunately, and cops one back for good measure. The high ground positioning and the not moving unfortunately makes him a target, and he's lucky that wasn't a headshot.
Definitely was a close one there. He is trying to connect with what he can. This team right here, it's going to be that Fijack's goal and visuals all based up on the water as well. It's such an awkward spot, so they're pinched between two teams at the ruins. Here though, Ronaldo, Skittles. We saw Ronaldo get bodied in the previous run there, leaving up to Skittles to do something big. They're pushing in though. It looks like they might have started this fight off with a big sniper or something. We know that that's how they tend to initiate the battles. You give Ron that sniper and bad things happen to players. Here, into the box they go. Oh my gosh. Way to open the wall and not even have time to react. Zum's gonna find the monster shot right there.
And it looks like such a simple play, but really smart there. Just that was such good teamwork. They split on both sides, so Zum knew that he was going to have to edit out that wall. So he didn't try to replace the wall, because that would leave you open to getting, you know, one pump and they could move over you. Zum was like, look, mate, where are you going to go? You've got to come towards me. So he just held the shotgun out and lands the clean shot. It's not as flashy as pulling off maybe a Mongrel classic, take the wall, get the stare in, but sometimes you don't need to be flashy. Sometimes the flashy plays can actually end up being the worst play.
Side. Here though, we have Slacks, Jack, and Acorn on the rotate in the vehicle, cutting through. Already starting to get focus from players off in the distance. Slacks goes for the driving shot and he hits it. Another one. That's the second one we've had today, or this weekend. We have Ronaldo first, and now Reverse 2K falls. This is huge. That's your first place team now.
First place team is taking big damage, and Slacks has the legendary pump shotgun, so this is a fight that is going to be scary to take. This is my pick to win this weekend. They had a pretty rough day. They came into today in top 10 though. They brought it back at the end of yesterday, and they're a scary fighting team. I remember in Ninja Battles, I was wondering, how did this team do so well when they won a week in Ninja Battles? They were wiping 2 and 3 full trios in the mid game before even getting to end game, so maybe I want to see them channel a little bit more of that aggression, because it's not something you're used to seeing in these FNCS matches, but it does work. Day Mirror and Reverse though, we know they can drop eliminations too, so if this does get pushed into a proper fight, it could get scary, but I think they're happy with their tags and they're going to set up on top of Salty.
Yeah, and there are some here. You can see the crosshairs there, the lit up ones, the green ones, so there are some enemies possibly down in the catacombs, possibly on height. I guess we get to find out now. Oh, there is an enemy. Okay, there's a full team up here on high ground. They don't even notice that Senta's getting close. Senta's going to go up. He's going to build right over. Okay, so they take high ground, and Edgy's here too to back him up. This is going to be like a box fight, straight up 3v3 situation. He's going in for it. They need this though. This is literally no other, you know, choice here.
Yeah. This is unfortunate. So right now, this is what they need, and it's the best play right now, but getting yourself in this situation is a misplay. Centered, Edgy, and Command are better teams than this. Not managing your Storm Surge and having to take a box fight for it, but then again, they have the purple pump, so maybe they know they have the meds, they know they have the firepower, and this is the safest way to do it, but this is an awkward place to take this fight, and it is. They're going up against Ghoul Visuals and Firejacks, and right now we have another player pushing up, and that's why it's so scary. Whoever that was creeping up on the stairs right now could really upset this one. As Visuals goes down, they get their one knock, they get their Storm Surge damage, and they're probably happy to leave this, and no, they're not Monster. Maybe they're changing up their plan. They're being aggressive.
Yeah, they're feeling it right now. And Visual's team rotates out of Weeping Woods, and they come from the Misty Meadows, so it just seems like they've just met at the ruins. Literally 2 paths that are going to inevitably cross, both land in that southern portion of the map. Here's Shades looking to jump in on some fighting here going on in the distance. This is another battle, not too far off from the ruins, just across the waterway there. You can see they're trying to find some shots. Ball's not going to get anything, but his teammates are letting it go here. It's a box fight. There's a team. They get close. That's threats, and that means Owen is probably up there on the other side of the wall. You can see the pickaxes coming through. That was his teammate trying to get inside. No, someone else actually.
And they needed
Bucky.
that. That's their
it was
first
Bucky,
points on the board here.
Kanata.
Ooh, Bucky Kanata is kind of like pushing up, trying to see if they can make something out of this and be that, you know, the bully trio that shows up late. But unfortunately for them, Quacod, Genesis, and Shades took 0 damage in that fight, so they're really healthy. Quaz even got 6 chug splashes, but this is his team's first points on the board, so game 1 was really not their game, and it looks like they're kind of shaking it off. The jitters are gone, and game 2, they're looking confident.
Yeah, for a second there, though, I saw that axe coming in. I was like, man, this is a 4v1. How? But it was Bucky Creon Kanata who stepped up, and you can see now he's off to the run. Could it be that Bucky's by himself? Might make sense here. we get a little bit of a wide shot. No, it's gonna be Sunny who's left from that trio. So Bucky's long gone already. He walked in, stole or secured the elim and got away with it. Qua's gonna find the one pump there onto Sunny. Not so much of a sunny day for him, and the zone's gonna favor them, so it's looking up for Qua, Cod Genesis, and Shades now.
Sunny day, come on, Monster. You had Sunny and you had Shades, bro. I was letting you do it because I'm not good at these. This is where we need Shire maybe to come in here, man. It's not my forte. My brain was going. I'm trying to think of what I could come up with, and I couldn't come up with anything. But Dubs, Riversound, and Mega up on the high ground, looking in a great position. Actually, possibly the most dominant position right now in the lobby. But again, they're favoring that edge now, Monster. They're not going forward because they want to stay in this spot because it's a really nice spot to be. Players beneath. It's such a scary spot to be in right now. Disrupted, Jackson, and Festival. Being underneath the mound, you'll see almost every team that can will go on top when they can, because right now you're going to get pinched so easily. A team above you, if they start spraying down, right now there's not a lot of explosive you can drop from above. They're not looking at nades or dynamite, but it's still such a scary spot to be pinned beneath a team on the bottom. But looks like they're holding up here. They're pretty chill, and the hardest part from this drop right now, or where they're sitting, is the Storm Surge tags. There is no one to take shots at. As the Bucky Crew and Kanata going up right now, they hit the bounce pad. Oh, unfortunately, it doesn't go the way they wanted. They try to pull off a bit of a crash pad up on top of the mountain, and now they make themselves a target. And just like that, you talked about threats, Monster. All it takes is one mistake. They mess up the crash pad, bounce pad, and look at that. Kanata goes down. Creo is so weak, and yet again, Bucky is having to fend for himself. I'm imagining he does not survive this one. This onslaught is just too much for them to hold off.
When Booga finds Miro in the feed there as well, Sented's going to catch the elimination in full there. So big changes already happened in this game right now. Lyjax, though, is the one who's on the aggression. He's on the aggro right now, trying to get inside the base. Okay, so they grab the player. They're going to bring him back. Is that Bucky there? Who's this right here? Oh, there it is.
This
Kanata.
Is Kanata. Bucky made it on top of Stark because he's the one who went up and then re-hit the crash pad with the extra momentum, which was enough to get him up there. So I think Bucky is alive, but unfortunately, Creo is still here, so only Kanata's gone down. And this fight's now breaking out. Lyjax has been knocked here, so we're going to see exactly what happened here. Looks like a team kind of drops in and puts some aggression on them after Creo gets to kind of just skate out of this one. And Festival tries to open up, and Moose gets knocked. That's such a good angle. Only has the gray pump here, though, so needs to be careful in this fight. He doesn't have the firepower up on these walls, and there it is. Lyjax goes down, so it's Festival and Distrep down here on the low ground trying to make something of this. They've got 33 builds. They've got a decent loadout-ish, but they needed this fight. They have 7 assault rifle ammo, Monster, so I think that was just a desperation fight they had to take.
Yeah, that was a full trio wipe as well onto Soul and Distrep there. Creo's going to find someone in the feed too, so things are just catching up here, showing you that the fights are still enraging. Things are still going on. Now, though, Jack Slacks and Acorn putting some pressure onto players in the storm line. You hear the shockwaves come out, so everyone's trying to get a move on here. 7 damage below. This is not one we see very often for this team, and that's very interesting. And remember, if Acorn gets ticked, it's over. Like, he gets taken out instantly, immediately. It's pure HP damage there, and you can see he only has just a little bit of health. So once it cuts through that shield, I mean, they have to take this fight right now. They're on top of the team.
Yeah. He hasn't got a lot. Once they get knocked, it's a straight knock there as well. And all the damage comes out, and just like that, Slacks, there it is. He has that legendary shotgun, and he's putting it to work. I talked about earlier back in Salty that I love when I see this team take the mid-game fight. There's another knock as well, but Acorn's gone down right now, so Slacks and Jacques have to do something, seeing what they can do to hold off. They're going to go for the revive, but there's players on all angles right now, and Slacks just holding this revive, but Jacques there. He can hold the angles, but he's getting beamed up now as well. He's pretty low. They had good shields, and no, the player behind him, he gets the revive off, and it just goes off in time, but it wasn't worth it, I don't think, as they both get knocked now, and unfortunately maybe should have backed himself with that legendary shotgun and just take the fight. And it's Furious, Cease, and Blake that are here on the low ground to do some damage. And Jacques, seeing what he can spoil though, comes through and gets a really heavy shot, but he's gonna have to rotate out. He has the peppermints for the increased mobility, and such an unfortunate situation as a max pull half too, Monster, so that's not the way you want your end game to look.
Oh no, they have to leave Furious behind. Cease and Blake almost had the miraculous save there as well, as everyone's trying to scramble up this mountain. It makes you wonder, why did they all rotate so late? Look at how many players are fighting right now. And it's ground and pound too. It's not like they're using their mobility at all. It's just straight up scrappy fights down here. The Pepper's coming out though, so at least he is able to rotate pretty quickly, make up for some lost time. But was it worth it? 5 eliminations back here on the edge of the line, and now he has to rotate in with no teammates. So it is going to be a close one. Let's see if he can pull a Bucky like Bucky did yesterday. Talking about him, Bucky's still alive too, by the way, in the mix of that whole build.
He's doing so well as a solo, but he has to, because right now his teammates unfortunately is going down in mid-game mistakes, and Edgy sent it a commandment looking really good. I saw Saf, Stretch, and Zate around the mid, like kind of high ground area there, but I think they were getting contested by a team that we have been expecting, especially with zones like this, to do very well with Booger, Jamper, and Avery, and I think Zate's on that front side, but Clarity G, Mikey, and Niddle in a really good spot as well, so there's some full trios that can upset this, and I think the battle for high ground's already been had and lost there. Yeah, I think Booger, Jamper, and Avery went for the high ground. I now see them on low, so looks like they got pushed off, but the damage has been done. Zay, Stretch, and Saf are not looking as healthy as they normally do.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting to see them finally like in a shambles position, but on high ground though, you know the siphons can be almost warranted at this point. Mars, Crumbler on the mid ground right now, just underneath second height, looking to do something big here. Already on the rotate though, 100 damage below.
Someone hit the bounce pad shockwave though, so someone was going for a big high ground retake. It wasn't a bounce pad shockwave forward, it was a bounce pad shockwave straight up, so I don't know how that one played out. I'm seeing none of the big names in the feed, so maybe they messed it up, and Zate's still up there, but Crumbler right now pushing through on this layer, and we talked about it. They had a big comeback in their last few games yesterday, and you can see why. Having really good players here on the mid-ground layer, and they're not playing scared, they're not just overbuilding, they know they have control of this layer, and they're just trying to do it, and maybe it was Clicks, Illist, and Bizzle that went for the high ground, because I now see Illist up there, I see Clicks nearby as well, I don't see Bizzle though, but that is definitely the team that went for the high ground, and we've talked about how much beef there is between Zate's team and Bizzle's team, so there's going to be a lot of love lost there, but they are such a scary team on high grounds.
Booger's going to fall there in the feed as well, as Clarity now falls in this rotate out. Next, he's in the box with them. Can they back him up? Yes, the three-way fire is going to work out. It's going to be enough just to save their teammate there. Crumbler's going to fall too, or find the conclusion on the Elim finally. You can see there's multiple players behind the wall. Here's a wide shot. Illist and Clicks are definitely raining fire. Mars is trying to go up and give a run for height.
Ooh.
Illist actually finds Stretch on the way out, and that's going to be a massive one here.
He gets knocked out, but he has these chug splashes to get him a little bit of health. That was 40 health. He's got to battle for the high ground. What can Illist do? Illist can do a lot. He is so dangerous, and he has the legendary pump in hand. The beautiful edit takes down Zayd, and we have new kings of high ground this game. That's it. They've all fallen now. Can Clicks and Illist do it, though? Because I saw Bizzle fall in the feed earlier. So they are a duo, but they have the high ground, and they have their two firepowers on the high ground. Bizzle was the brains. He got them here, but now it's all to Illist and Clicks. What can they do, as there are still full trios beneath them that could upset this?
Yeah, definitely. We're coming back with this. Tabs is going to fall there to Crumbler as well. Someone's on the backside in the storm. It's caught Genesis. He goes down. The Shockwave's going to help a little bit here to get him closest to the safety of the new zone, but never mind. Now he has to work his way around this mountain. No builds either. He needs a siphon. There's a player in front. It's Qual, and Qual gets deleted. A couple of mats in the inventory. Is it enough? It is almost just enough to touch it. If it comes back, it'll work out, and yes, there it is. Finds the opportunity to get inside. His teammates right underneath, and now they get to work together, but no, they get deleted. Still so close
to come so far but fall just short, but that's good points right now. There's only 4 teams alive, so they came top 5, and we have to think who's going to be on high ground. It is, but I think they're low on mats with the way they're playing. They're jumping off to the side. I think they're completely out of builds, so now this is where teams can upset them. Jamper is down there. Joji, Knifer there has to do something. Clicks gets a little bit of a refresh, and they're all sliding down the hill. Next to none of them have enough builds to try and contest for height. They're fighting down there on low, and this is perfect for Clicks and Illist. They can just rain down fire from above. They needed a big game. The shots come out. Players down there. What can Clicks do? Can he come down? He's got that purple pump, so you know what Clicks can do here. Can he get the shot? 100 takes down Centered, but Edgy and Commandment's still alive though. They don't have the numbers advantage.
Oh, they answer back.
It's a 2v1 right now. Can Illist do something? Edgy is beneath him. Commandment's beneath him. Illist is good, but is he this good? This is going to be such a hard fight.
Oh, no.
As they have the mat advantage. They're coning off everything. They have all the blocks. I don't know if he can win it.
And they're leaving the down body there as well, just waiting for it to something big to happen here. And this is an intense situation right now. All he needs is one good low ground peak. You got to assume Edgy's gonna hit it, and yes, he finds it onto Illist. Oh my gosh, way to clutch up.
Well, let's take a look, and don't forget, this is the cumulative leaderboard from the 6 games yesterday and the 2 we already have done today. So Zate, Saf, and Stretch, they're holding down that first place spot, and again, those emblems on the left side does mean that these trios have already qualified. So your top 5 is looking all qualified through, and this is very scary for those trios that have not qualified.
Yeah, same thing from 6th to 9th, a 13-point difference for Crumble, and XC Mars, all the way down to Mega, Riverson, and Dub. So literally anyone past that on the page with the top 15. We have Qua, Ka, Genesis, and Shades striking back on day 1.